Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sons show. And welcome to another Why We Play the Game, I guess we're going to call it. I was talking to my good friend Squirrel Her and yesterday, the day before. And he had asked me a question that was actually kind of on my mind. And that was... what would be your dream game, the ultimate game, Dungeons and Dragons, role playing, whatever? What would it be? What would it consist of? And what would it be like? And of course, my answer would be, somewhere where I get to play a real magic user who was not overly penalized just for being a magic user, someone who could. And was also encouraged to, cast great enchantments, create great magic items, artifacts, things that would, change the game and have long-lasting effects and not be your traditional, uber nerd, one part Doc Strange, one part John Constantine, and one part not really Merlin, but I digress. And so I'm going to pose the question to you guys, in the new year that's coming up, and we're all going to be playing new games and looking for new things and grabbing the next new shiny RPG that comes down the pike, or maybe not, depending on how the economy goes, right, folks? But what would be your ideal game? What would be the greatest game you ever hope to play, both in genre and context, of course, and character type? I think that says a lot about us. A good example, a lot of people play characters that are just like themselves, and while we can't divorce ourselves from ourselves when we play any character, because is try as we might, we're still in there somewhere. I play a lot of, like in sci-fi games, I play a lot of pilots, flyers, things like that. People who run the ship or plot the course or do the really cool aeronautical maneuvers and get into dogfights and things like that, because as you guys know, I don't fly. I won't get an airplane. The last airplane I got into was on the Ronald Reagan Museum, and it's not flying anymore. There's no danger of it falling 40,000 feet out of the sky to crash land. Just one of those things about me. I don't like flying. I'm not into it. I fear of heights, whatever you want to call it. It's more a fear of crashing. But so I play characters, that are. I try to make them as different from me as possible, but it's it's kind of impossible to completely extricate myself from the thinking process of that character. So what would you play? What kind of character would you play in the let's say it was fantasy island kind of situation? You could play the ultimate character, the ultimate holodeck. How would you program that game for yourself if you could? Put it in the comment section below, because you never know, someone might want to run that game and invite you to it. My dance card is pretty full for the next 6 months to the whole year. I've got plotted out of what games I'm going to be in and running. Just a few scant hours I have left that I could open something up, unless of course something falls through or something ends or breaks up or whatever, as they often do. But in the comment section, tell me what genre, what kind of game, and then what you would play if it was your dream game. Because I'd love to hear about it. Because some of you guys are in my games, and it might, also help me, make your game a little better. I'm not going to cater to you 100%, because nobody can do that unless it's a one-on-one game, and I don't like those. I think those are wrong. I get it. Sometimes you have to do a one-on-one with somebody, but usually the other guys are sitting around the table or on Discord listening. But or you can do it off on the side. But it's yeah, I just don't do that. But that's what I got for you, the guys, this morning. It is a new year. Let's go into it with eyes wide open, but also our head on a swivel, because you never know what's coming. And while I got a good feeling about this year, there's also the old spidey senses tingling, telling me to be careful, watch out, and make the best of it, right? So until then, folks, love you guys. Happy New Year, and as always, happy trails.